The truths we will uncover might challenge your beliefs and question everything you thought you knew. But be warned, what you're about to learn isn't for the faint-hearted. This is not just information, this is a wake-up call. If you're not ready to question the status quo or confront uncomfortable truths, this may not be for you. But if you have the courage to dive deep and open your mind, then prepare yourself for a journey into the heart of the New World Order. Ready to face the reality most people choose to ignore? Let's begin. Edgar Hoover, the former director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, commented on the conspiracy of the New World Order, "Man stands crippled if he were to face such a nefarious conspiracy that you wouldn't believe it exists." Before delving into the definition of the New World Order, and before I am accused of madness, heresy, or folly, I must explain why this system has not been seriously and firmly addressed by the world's peoples and opposed effectively, even if it required individual efforts to shed light on this wealth of information and give the world a chance to react against it. The enormity of this intricate network and the amount of deception surrounding individuals, organizations, and societies involved in this conspiracy truly call for skepticism. Most people react to this theory with doubt, disbelief, and mockery, unaware that they have been subjected to a process of brainwashing and programmed indoctrination in a devilish manner through all available media over the years. The process of deception and brainwashing includes viewing belief in this theory as madness and fantasy. What most people believe to be public opinion is actually behavior extracted from people by molding public opinion, which I explained in another part of the series about the theory of polls and public opinion surveys. It is a programming process and measures how much the world accepts such an upcoming system. This is just a small part of the media circle directed at us. Hence, you will not find many ears attentive to such theories that consider the existence of a conspiracy theory. This system was planned to proceed in its schemes regardless of the outcomes. The world must fall under the control of the New World Order, led by the royal families of wealth, the masters of the global economy, the United Nations system, major corporations, leading research institutes, and international expert centers. Interestingly, George Bush once casually remarked, a godfather of the New World Order, when he said, "If the American people ever find out what we have done, they would hang us from the lampposts." In a conversation with a German friend named Manfred, whom I believe to be from the new generation of modern Germany and wrongly assumed that he would tremble and flee at the mention of the word Jew, this German friend surprised me by being one of the Nazis who harbor a blind and intense hatred for any race not belonging to the pure Bavarian German race. He did not hide his bias and strong sympathy for Catholic Christianity, which harbors intense hostility toward Freemasonry and the subsequent strong hatred for evangelical Protestant Christianity, which is the core of the New World Order. It was an intriguing conversation about the New World Order, Freemasonry, the Illuminati, and devil worshippers. And how pleased I was that we agreed on many points about the formation of this entity. We were able to exchange several points about this system. When he returned to Germany, our correspondence continued, which never strayed from the discussion point I always pushed him to talk about. I remember in one of his letters he sent to me, after my deliberate provocation that Germany is one of the main conspiring countries aiming to enslave the world. His reply was somewhat harsh but contained several points. These points were a concise and formidable summary that explained the reason for the emergence of this system, even if Germany was involved in this conspiracy, which includes, the New World Order will be a supranational authority to regulate global trade and industry. It will be that international organization which will control the production and consumption of oil and will have a single international currency after abolishing all other world currencies. It will establish and fund a global development fund that will make funds available for communism and free states alike. This new system must have an international military force to enforce the laws of this new world order. The Illuminati belong to a tightly organized network of ruling families and very wealthy lineages, representing Anglo-American, Anglo-Saxon interests, European aristocracy, and Jewish finance, all sharing this belief, harboring intense hatred for Islam and Christianity. They use Freemasonry as an effective cover for their activities. If they are not more cunning and deceitful, they now lie in the same trench and it is difficult to distinguish between them. They care for nothing but the Illuminati, even if they have to kill billions of them, as long as it achieves their goals and pushes the rest into another world of enslavement. Looking at the mysterious satanic influences that infiltrate people's daily lives, it becomes clear to us that the New World Order is the system of the beast associated with the coming Antichrist. This stage is being prepared extensively. Attempts are also being made to unify religions in the world into a new system that unifies beliefs among different religions. There is also a restructuring of the world's economies, governments, and resources, placing them all under the control of a single government. This is ultimately the goal of Satan for a global, communist, and totalitarian atheism. Rockefeller and their Rothschild and Morgan allies will create a world government that combines capitalism and communism under one tent, all under their control. I am convinced that there is such a conspiracy, international in scope. The older generations that have passed us by have contributed to this planning. The first hour of Osiris, the Golden Age, a new system for the ages, the New World Order, globalization, all different names, but they all represent the same ideology and agenda planned for decades. And these leaders of this new system must restore the age of demons and the violent, immoral, and bloody golden age of corruption. In 1992, Dr. John Coleman, an academic specializing in ideological research, published The Conspirators' Hierarchy, The Committee of 300. In this detailed work, he meticulously outlined the agenda and key players involved in Masonic and Illuminati plans for global domination. On page 161 of the study, Dr. Coleman defines the purpose of the Committee of 300 as a single world and one government, its monetary system under constant surveillance, an unelected hereditary government built like the feudal systems of the Middle Ages. In this one world entity, the population will be fixed and limited due to restrictions on the number of births per family, with the global population controlled through diseases, wars, and famines to just 1 billion people who will serve the global elite. The term New World Order is widely used by politicians over the ages and refers to a deliberate conspiracy orchestrated by a powerful and influential group including some of the world's wealthiest individuals, political leaders, and corporate elites, aimed at establishing a fascist one-world government. This government would eliminate all national and regional borders and execute pre-planned agendas by this elite. It is also used to describe the consolidation of global powers to ensure worldwide peace, security, and safety, synonymous with terms like one world government, global governance, and globalization. Mikhail Gorbachev was one of the first global leaders to publicly discuss the New World Order 2 years prior to George Bush's historic speech at the United Nations on December 7, 1988. The former Soviet Prime Minister stated, "Further global progress is now possible only through a quest for universal consensus in the movement towards a new world order." George Bush Sr., a devoted proponent of the Illuminati Masons, made the New World Order his administration's main focus before leaving for Helsinki in early September 1990 to discuss the Gulf crisis. At a summit with Gorbachev, he expressed his hope that the foundations for a new world order would be laid in Helsinki, within the framework of the United Nations. At a subsequent press conference with Gorbachev, President Bush optimistically proclaimed that if the world's nations could harmoniously work together, we could establish the cornerstone for a global system that is safer than ever. Zionist banker Paul Warburg, in a testimony to the US Senate in February 1950, famously declared, "We shall have world government, whether or not you like it. The only question is whether world government will be achieved by conquest or consent. The New World Order envisions a world under one government with a medieval-like feudal economic system. The world population would be limited due to birth restrictions and controlled through engineered diseases, wars, and famines to ensure a maximum of 2 billion people, mostly serving the ruling class. In this new world system, there will be no middle class, only rulers and servants. All laws will be uniform under a global legal system with a single police force and military enforcing laws internationally without national borders. This system will be based on a welfare state where compliance with the law will be rewarded, and any form of dissent will be severely punished without trial. The overarching objectives of this orchestrated plan, discovered in 1785, aim to initiate a global revolution managed by secret societies to effectively control society. These objectives include abolishing all government forms, private property, inheritance laws, and religious decrees, establishing a singular world allegiance under a new global regime. Dark times are coming. Control, fear, and manipulation. Prepare for a world ruled by shadows. Subscribe to stay informed.